So this is lesson 25 in Algebra 2, monomial factoring, cancellation, and parallel lines. So when we're talking about factoring, what we're talking about is the opposite, basically, of distributing. When you have a problem such as 4, start over, 4x times ax plus y, and you do your distributing, you get 4ax squared plus 4xy. Alright, that's distributing. Sometimes you'll be given it in this form and you're asked to go backwards to this form, and that's called factoring. So that's what we're going to do today, is look at how to do the factoring. So let's start here. Alright, what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to look for things that are common in both of these terms. So I have a 4. That's common, so I'm going to take the 4. And that will go away since I took it. Then I will look and see, do I have any A? I've got an A here, don't have any here, so I can't take any of those. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a parenthesis to put the stuff that I don't have common things, that I can't take anything out. So I can't do anything with the A, and the A is first over in this term, so I'm going to leave it here. Can't do anything. Then I'm going to look at my x's. I have an x squared here. I have 2 x's here and 1 here. So what I have common between the two is 1. Since I have 1 there and 2 there, I don't have 2 over here, so I can't take 2 of them. So I can just take 1 of them. That's what I have that's common. So I'm going to take that and put it out here. Well, I still have 1 left here. I don't have any here. And then I look at my y. I don't have a y over here, so it's just over here. So there's no commonality, so I can't take it out. And I'm done. And it looks just like this one here. That's really all there is to it. So we're going to do some practicing because there are a few tweaks that they'll give us in here. But other than that, we should be able to go pretty quickly through this lesson. Alright, so we can clean my board up. So let's look at second example. 4x squared p squared k minus 6k squared p to the 4th x. Alright, so I'm going to make a parenthesis, and I'm going to put a minus sign. And that's going to come down there with me. And I'm going to look at things that I have common. Alright, I've got a 4 and a 6. Can't take either one of those out. But what do I know about my 4 and my 6? A 2 will go into both of those. So let's say that I rewrite this 4 as a 2 times 2, and this is a 2 times 3. Now I have 2's that are common to both of those. So I'm going to pull the 2 out, which means this 2 has to stay, and this 3 has to stay. Alright, now let's look and see. Let's get rid of that. So I'm done with my numbers. So I've done everything I need to with those. Let's look at my x's. I have 2 here and 1 here. So the most that I have in common is 1. So I'm going to take the 1 and pull it out, which means I took one of those, which means I'm left with 1 there, and I'm done. And I took this one out completely, so I don't have any that I can put in the parenthesis because I put it over here. Now I'm going to look at the p's. I have 2 p's over here, p squared here, and I have p to the 4th. So the most I have in common is 2. I have these 2 here and 2 from here. So I'm going to take the 2 I have out, which means those go away completely. And it means I took 2 out of here, so that means I have 2 left. Alright, so we're done with those. Now let's look at k's. Alright, on the left I have 1k, and over here I have 2. So the most I can take out is 1. And those go away. And one of those went away, so that means I have 1 left that I can't do anything with. So I end up with 2xp squared k times the quantity 2x minus 3kp squared. So now if I distribute this, I will get my original equation back. Alright, so let's continue looking at some of these. I don't know why these only erase a little bit at a time. Alright, last one. 4x squared y minus 2xy. Ooh, they give us a third one, which is okay. Everything works the same. put our parentheses for what is not common, and then what is common I pull out. So I'm going to change again this 4 to a 2 times 2. This can't be changed, so it'll just stay a 2. And this is a 2 times 5. Alright, so what do I have common between here, here, and here? 1, 2. So I'm going to pull a 2 out. So that gets rid of that 2, gets rid of that 2, and gets rid of that 2. Alright, so that means that I have a 2 left there. I don't have any number left here because that went away. We pulled it out. And I have a 5 left here for my third one. And that got rid of all my numbers. All my numbers we're done with now. Now let's look at the x's. I have 2 here, 1 here, and 1 here. So the commonality here is just 1x. So I got rid of one of those, so I have 1 left. Got rid of this one completely, so there aren't any. Got rid of that one completely, so I can't put any left. I'm going to look at my y's. I have 1 y that I can pull from each one. So I pulled that y, and I have 1 y left in there. So let's see what I've got here. I have nothing left here. That does not mean I have 0. It means that when I have nothing left, there's always a placeholder there, and the placeholder is always going to be 1. So when we cancel everything, there's still a 1 there. Because actually what we've got, well anyway, let's not go into it. We just have a 1 there when we get rid of everything, because we have to have that placeholder in there so that when we multiply this times the negative 1, we get this number back. If that was a 0 and it went away, and if we multiplied this 2xy times 0, it would be 0, so it would completely disappear. So that's why we have to have a 1 there so we can get it back. Alright, so let's go into cancellation. And we'll do that in the next video. So this is lesson 25, the second video B in Algebra 2, monomial factoring, cancellation, and parallel lines. And we're going to go and start doing some cancellation now. Now there's some rules when it comes to canceling, so let's look at those. For one thing, when I have something like 4x plus 8 over 4. Alright, right now things are not factored, so I can't really cancel. So this is why we did canceling or factoring in the first part of this, is so then we could cancel. So let's factor that. I have a 4 common to both of those, because this is 2 times 2 and this is 2 times 2 times 2. So I grabbed both of those 2's and pulled them out, and 2 times 2 is 4. And we are left with an x because there's no common x over here at all, so that x stayed, and this 2 that was left here goes there. Alright, so I went kind of fast there because canceling or factoring is something you did in Algebra 1. It's just kind of a review. So that ends up being 4 times the quantity x plus 2, and then we had a 4 on the bottom. Okay, this is why you factor, is so that you can cancel. I have a 4 there and a 4 there. Anytime you have two numbers or two things multiplied, like this times this, you can cancel part of it. So I canceled the 4 with this 4. If I had 4x plus 4 over 4, I cannot do this. Cannot do that. If there is a plus or a minus sign on either side of one of the numbers, you cannot do the canceling. But if I were to factor a 4 out of this, now I can cancel. See, notice the difference. When I use it this way, I get an answer of 4x. When I do it this way, I get an answer of x plus 1. Two completely different answers. Alright, so let's do example 25.4. And one of the rules that I always set when we do these is you always do your factoring first, and then you cancel. So we have 6x cubed plus x squared over x squared. Alright, so for this one, we're going to, well, let's move it down a little bit. There we go. We're going to write this as, well, we're going to look at numbers. We have a 6 here and we have a 1 here. So we can't pull either one of those out. So let's put our plus sign. That 6 has to stay there. But I do have 3 x's here and 2 here. So I'm going to grab 2 because it's common, 2. And I'm going to pull those out. And that one still has 1 left over. This one, it went away completely. So again, you have a 1 there. You can't just make it 0. And that's over x squared. Now I can cancel. And my answer is 6x plus 1. So that's all there is to the canceling. Let's do 6a squared plus x squared over x squared. All right, do I have anything common here that I can pull out? I have a 6 here, but I don't have any numbers here, so that has to stay in. I have an a squared here, don't have any a's here, so that has to stay. I've got an x squared, but no x's over here, so that has to stay. So this cannot be factored. Can't do anything with that. And that's over x squared. I cannot cancel these because there's a plus sign there. Anytime there's a plus or a minus sign on either side, I can't cancel. It has to only be a multiplication. Like here, I could cancel because there's a multiplication sign there. So that one you can't really do anything with. We're done with that. Okay, so next video we'll go into parallel lines.